Hello, this is Michael Russ. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Beyond the 3D. First, let me just say this. Each one of these episodes falls under the category of owning your power. Owning your power is something I talk about on my podcast, Beyond the 3D podcast, all the time. And really, it's the theme for 2018 going forward. Because really what we're talking about here in life is how to own your power, take control, and create life the way you see it. Yourself, your own evolution, as well as your life experience. That's what this is all about. So everything you see on this YouTube channel really falls under that theme. Whether it's doing something leisurely like playing golf, we're talking about resilience, how to build resilience, how to be more resilient, how to own your resilience. Whether it's salt, real salt, or the magnesium episode I have with Dr. Carolyn Dean. When you own your health, you look at all the things, all the choices you're making with regard to your health, the minerals that you're putting in your body to help your body's processes in a positive way to stay healthy over the long haul, whether it's changing the salt you're eating so that you're eating something that's actually enhancing your life versus taking away or detracting from your life, from your health. It's all about that. So Beyond the 3D is not only obviously dealing with the worry, the fear, concern, scarcity, and lack that we deal with, the anger, the negative feelings and emotions and toxicity in the world. How do you deal with it? How do you eliminate? That's the 3D world. Let's elevate ourselves above that 3D world and get to a place where we are looking down and we're fully cognizant, fully recognizing the fact that what's going on below us, what's going on in the real world out there, a lot of it is BS. A lot of it has nothing to do with us. We think it has something to do with us because other people tell us we should be thinking that it has something to do with us. They tell us it should be. It should be something we care about. But you know what? That's just noise. The world is full of noise. 24 hours of noise. When I grew up, you could only get news from 3 stations at night. That's it, for an hour every evening. That's it. Now you've got 24-hour news, 24-hour sports, 24-hour drama, 24-hour BS, 24-hour movies, 24-hour everything, 24-hour stuff. Everything is vying for your time because there's money involved. There's money. If you're watching, their advertising dollars are going to go up. The more people watch, the greater they can charge advertisers. Facebook has 2.7 billion membership. 2.7 billion people. They're making all their money from advertising. They're monetizing you and your information and your connection with others to make billions and billions and billions of dollars. If you didn't want to connect with other people, they wouldn't exist. There's a whole culture of people out there that want to do that. I personally have no interest in all of that. I have a Facebook account. I post things on it for those people who, positive. I want to be contributing to a positive environment. So what I place on my Facebook page or Twitter or Instagram, whatever, is meant to be thought-provoking and positive. So today I want to talk about owning your time. That's what this episode of Beyond the 3D here on the YouTube channel is all about, is owning your time. Owning your time. You must own your time. It's an essential element. You've got 24 hours in a day. You're always saying to yourself, oh, wow, and I'm sure you're doing this, where did all that time go? As I'm actually producing this episode, it's April 3rd. The first quarter of the year is already gone. You're going, wow, where did last year go? And the question I always ask myself at the end of the year is, did I experience this year as fully as I could? Did I do that? That's really what I ask myself. Did I experience it? And I ask myself every day when I wake up, how am I going to experience this day to the fullest extent? Own my power, take control. I'm going to create the day the way I want it to be. And anything that gets in the way of that, I've got a way of mitigating it, neutralizing it, dealing with it, and moving forward. I do not let negativity or toxicity interrupt my day, drama or otherwise. If you really want to begin to own your time, this is what you have to do. Now, I'm going to talk about the 7 things that I use to manage my time without a calendar, that have nothing to do with a calendar or a to-do list, which are great things. I think they're awesome. I think to-do lists and calendars can keep you focused. And if you can accomplish those things, which you really should, and you should do them quickly at the beginning of the day, that's great. Brings a sense of meaning and fulfillment to your day, obviously, when you can start something and finish something. So today, I'm going to talk about 2 things first. The biggest wasters of time. One of the biggest wasters of your time is the process you have for dealing with adversity, or how you process adversity. Adversity is defined by a challenging, unfortunate, or misfortunate event. That is what adversity is. It's that thing you get blindsided by, right? Bam, hits you. You could have the greatest to-do list in the world. However, if you get a call from your significant other, your lover, your mother, your father, whatever, girlfriend, boyfriend, son or daughter, and something is wrong, there goes the list. Now your focus is on that, because something greater than the list came along, right? Took over your day. It's how you deal with those situations and circumstances. Do you deal with them successfully or unsuccessfully? That's what determines whether or not you are going to have control of your time. The second thing that happens to take away a lot of your time are digital distractions. Digital distractions. Things like these cell phones and tablets, computers. Digital distractions. That includes media. Because, quite frankly, media is now accessing you on these devices, on your computer. They're accessing you, even on your televisions now. We've got a cable system. Heck, emails will show up, phone calls will show up, whatever. These interruptions, okay, digital distractions, 24 hours, 24/7 is what they have, all from the medias or wherever it's from. Now, there are 4 things that you can do to begin to manage your time. 4 things. And I'm going to run them down to you very quickly, and I'm going to get on to the 7 things I use to manage my time. First, manage notifications on your devices. Every app you download asks you for permission to notify you. Decline notifications. I do it all the time. I don't want any dings, any bells, any whips, any whistles, any music, whatever it is. I don't want it. I know this may be challenging for you. However, you can get through the challenge. When you get to the other side of no notifications, you wonder, wow, is that what it's like? I know people, they got something buzzing, dinging, ringing, some song goes off, right in the middle of something. Manage your notifications more effectively. That's number 1. Number 2, silence this device. Silence your phone, your cell phone, and any other device you have during interactions with other people. During interactions with other people, you have to do this, and I'll tell you why. It's disruptive. It's disrespectful. That's the reason why. You may not realize it because they've got a phone, you've got a phone, okay, but it's disrespectful. Life is about connecting. It's about connecting. Relationships are how things get done. More jobs are gained through connections and the building of relationships than online services. It's who you know. It's who you know. And if you don't take the time to get to know people and what they're doing, you don't listen, then you miss out. It's rude to you, it's rude to them. If your phone rings or dings or something goes on while you're having a personal interaction with another person. Number 3, manage your email access time. Manage your email access time. I do not look at my email every 5 minutes. If you are, you're addicted to it. Pick a time. Pick a time or several times throughout the day to check your email. If you're working and you get a lot of emails of things you have to do, responses you have to give to various emails from your team or whoever it is, your boss. Pick a time when you're going to do it. If you've got a task, focus on that task. And you might check the email. If you know that you're expecting an email, you can check it. Don't be tempted to go into all the other emails. Just check for that one email, let it go. Pick a time when you can go through your emails and get them out of the way. Now, number 4, manage access to your social media. Manage access to your social media. My gosh, this is huge because we've got 75 plus million millennials, if you're one of them, who were born into the social media, whatever it may be, sphere, social media sphere. So you grew up with it. As a kid, you were on whatever app it was. You've become nuanced in how to use those apps. The problem is there's something called an addiction code that these coders who are creating these apps use to make you want them, to make you addicted to what they've got. Whether it's a gaming app, social media app, a social app, whatever the app may be. There are notifications, there are dings, there are claps, there are whatever it is. And there's even emails that they send you. And if you have email notifications on your phone, you're going to get that ding, get an email, ding, you got an email. Wow. Hey, haven't checked your Facebook lately? Here's what you've missed. You haven't checked Tumblr. Wow. Do I really need to do that? So-and-so wants to tell you about the latest, greatest thing. Ding, there it is. Right? Manage your social media. You have no idea or clue as to how much time is being wasted on social media. No matter how important you think it is, lay out a time to deal with social media. I just read about Ed Sheeran, very popular songwriter, who actually ditched his phone for 2 years now. He was getting a lot of calls about nothing. Got 50 calls in the morning he'd had from people, and none of them wanted to know how he was doing. How are you feeling today? What's going on in your life? It was all about, hey, can I get this? Can I get that? Got tired of it. Quite frankly, I applaud him. I personally ditch my phone about 6 o'clock every evening, unless I'm going out and I'm needing to meet people and I'm needing to wait for a text. I want to make sure we stay in contact so that they can find me, I can find them, fine. Other than that, many times I'll go to dinner without a phone. Not here to take pictures of food. I'm here to enjoy who I'm with, interact with them, have an experience that I can talk about for years to come. Taking a picture of something is not the same as being there. Because once you decide to take a picture of whatever it is, you've taken yourself out of the moment. It's about being in the moment. Life happens in the moment. Now, here are the 7 things, my 7 faves for managing time. I'm going to run through them kind of quickly here because I don't want to take up your entire day. I don't want to take up all your time. I like to keep these videos to about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes tops. Number 1, focus on one thing at a time. Focus on doing one thing at a time. If you're going to check emails, focus on checking emails. Don't get distracted by anything else. And if something else comes in to distract you, then guess what? You need to make a choice or decision as to how important that is versus what you're focusing on. Number 2, separate yourself from negative people, negative conversations, drama, negative, indirect adversity, and negative influences. Indirect adversity, by the way, is something that happens to someone else or outside of you. When you cut your finger, that's your personal direct adversity. If your friend cuts their finger, that's their adversity. To you, it's indirect. It's not direct. It's not personal adversity. Unless you decide to take on their adversity as your adversity, which a lot of parents do when their kids have adversity, which is a lot of relationships. Your girlfriend or boyfriend or a significant other, whatever, if something happens to them, You take on their pain, their situation. Here's the way I look at it. Empathy and compassion and love. Empathy, compassion, and love. Have those three things and act from that foundation, regardless of whatever happens, and you'll be fine. Now, number 3, filter what goes in the 5 inches between your ears. Filter what goes into your mind, into your head. Most people don't filter. They just let everything go in. The problem with this is that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be in there. Stuff that you then start thinking about that, again, wastes time. That's the whole idea. So curate what goes into your mind. Curate it like a museum curator curates an incredible museum event, what goes into the museum. Careful thought. Don't just allow all the toxic mess to get in there. It starts bouncing around, banging around, you start thinking about it. Before you know it, you're off on some social media trip, talking about it, whatever, wasting a lot of time. Has nothing to do with your life, nothing to do with your happiness. And that's the next one, by the way, I'm going to be doing is a happiness piece, because that's a whole nother story. Now, number 4, let go of adversity as soon as possible. Let go of it. This is the biggest problem for people, letting go of adversity. Why is it such a problem? Why? It's such a problem because we get hung up in the how and the why. Earthquake happens in Los Angeles, and I live in Florida. Am I going to be able to fly there and look through the rubble? No. Remember what I said, empathy, compassion, and love. What I can do to control the situation is absolutely nothing there. I can control my thoughts, words, and feelings. However, I can't control anything going on there. So I'm not going to get sucked into that. And it's just one thing, because believe me, there's an earthquake happening in Chile, one happening in Turkey or Iran or somewhere else in the world. There's a tsunami over there. There's this, there's that. There are all these things. And what brings these things to you is the media. Because, 40 years ago, you didn't have all this 24-hour-a-day media. You didn't have it. So really being separated from it, there's a wall between you and the media. As I said earlier, you got that information from a newspaper once a day or from television in the evening on the evening news. That's where you got it. So your life was easier, it was simpler. You could be happier longer because you didn't have all these interruptions. But today you do, so you have to manage them. Got to make sure they don't get into your head, start banging around, and you go off on a tangent, waste a lot of time on something that really doesn't benefit your well-being in the long haul. And that's really what it is. You want to have time for the things that enhance your well-being as an individual, as a human being. Things that make you happy, feel loved, things that bring you prosperity, bring you abundance. If you're a business person, you're spending 80% of your time producing 100% of results, or you're spending 20% of your time producing 100% of the results and wasting the other 80 on a bunch of superfluous stuff that means nothing. Now, number 5, manage your expectations. You may not think this has anything to do with time, but your expectations are incredibly importante, very important, okay? Let me give you an example. If you expect to, on a project, get it done in a certain period of time, once you get past that certain period of time, you start generating adversity. It's called self-generated adversity, but you get frustrated, you get worried, you get angry, you got other things on the list that you really want to be accomplishing, you got to get this done, blah, blah, blah. Wasting a lot of time. Mental adversity, it's the extra mental adversity that actually wastes even more time. You may even, again, get on that phone. This thing didn't take me, this thing took me a lot longer, and I'm still doing it. Put the phone down and just focus on it and get it done. That's what happens, right? So, number 6, resist judgment. Resist judgment. Again, what would judgment have to do with time? Well, you spend a lot of time judging things. This is good looking. That's not so good looking. Oh, that's a beautiful dress. Oh, that's a beautiful suit. That's a great tie. Boy, it's a gorgeous day. Those are beautiful flowers. He did this, she did that. He said, she said, blah, blah, blah. I hate that when that happens. I love this when that happens. You make judgments all day long. Try and not do it one day. and see how great you feel. It's like a weight lifted from your shoulders. We somehow feel in our society that we have to judge. Judgment takes time. It also takes focus. When I find myself judging, I stop. I stop myself. And I remind myself, oh my God, that has nothing to do with my life. Is my life enhanced by judging something? Oprah Winfrey had a guest on her show and said, you need to dump this judgment thing. Just try it. Walk in your backyard and just be. Just listen. See. See the colors. See the flowers. Resist the temptation to judge a flower as being big, small, beautiful, beautiful color, great color, like that color, don't like that color, whatever it is. That tree, oh, the wind is really, really blowing out here. How fast is it blowing? Let me check my phone. Is it 8 miles an hour? Is it 10 miles an hour? Resist the temptation to judge and find out how much time, and discover actually how much time it's actually wasting. Number 7, this is the final one. Practice total responsibility. I learned this from a multimillionaire about 35 years ago. I'm forever indebted to this gentleman because his name was Charles Gibbons. He wrote a book called Wealth Without Risk. Great book, great book. A lot of cool stuff in it. And he said in a workshop that we had with him, a little intimate workshop, he said, I practice total responsibility. If I get into an accident, I assume responsibility for my part in that accident right away. Why? Because I'm the one who got up the time I got up. I decided to leave my house when I left my house. I put myself in that spot, in that position where that thing could happen. So why would I have all this angst and anger and frustration about it happening? And I've basically done that. I've run into the back of somebody or somebody's run into me and I've gone, you know what? Just give me your insurance information. I'll take care of it. I got to move on. Get all the details down. Boom, boom, boom. No anger, no frustration. Hey, stuff happens. You've got an automobile at some particular point, somebody's going to scratch it, dent it, run into it, scrape it, key it. It's going to happen. You can't control those circumstances. Other people's thoughts, words, and actions are beyond your ability to control. And you'll waste, again, a lot of time attempting to control other people. That actually should be number 8. Stop trying to control other people. Stop it. Practice total responsibility in your life. Take responsibility for your part. When you do that as well, by the way, you can also forgive yourself for your part in whatever happened. And forgiveness is a tool that saves a lot of time. It also enhances your well-being. Now, those are my 7 favorite things, favorite go-tos for managing my time. It's been a pleasure bringing them to you. I welcome your comments on this page. My name is Michael J. Russ. Check out my podcast, Beyond the 3D Podcast. That basically goes into a lot more about owning your power, things that I'm going to eventually bring to this YouTube channel. But check it out, share it with your friends. When we all own our power and take control of and create our lives, take control of our lives and create our lives, we're all better off. You get a bunch of people together, all your friends, taking control, owning their power, creating their life. Guess what happens? You're all having a good time. You're all happy. You're all doing what you want to be doing. You're all prosperous. You're all celebrating abundance that you have in your life. There's abundance of happiness, abundance of love, and great feelings and joy. That's what you're doing in your life. It's what Beyond the 3D is about. Elevating yourself above the drama of everyday life, the drone, I should say, the white noise of everyday living, so that you can enjoy your life, enjoy the experience of your life. Thank you so much for your time again. Be well and make it an incredible day, because that's within your power. Bye-bye.